Guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another fragrance related video, and to be more exact, this is going to be another blind buy fragrance haul. So here's the thing, I was supposed to be on a no buy because of the advent calendar season and all, that costs money. So I just decided not to buy any more fragrances, but then I don't know, I just couldn't really force myself to do that. So I decided to kind of compromise and just choose something that will be not necessarily spending and splurging and whatever, but like still getting new fragrances. I decided to buy some cheapies, like some proper cheapies. So how did I do with my blind buys? I got 6 fragrances. There are some hits, there are some misses here, I'm not going to lie. So the first fragrance I'm going to start with is this one. This is Pepper Jeans for Hair. So this fragrance, let me show you. It's this one. Extremely tacky bottle. And if you want to know a secret, I actually love it. I actually love how it looks. I don't know why. I've always feel like tempted to buy it because of that bottle. And well, what else can I say? Like, we all have those like guilty pleasures, or I don't know, but I really like how it looks. Anyway, this smells to me very much like a cocktail, and I think this might be just strong auto-suggestion because it is presented as a cocktail kind of thing, because whenever I look at the notes, it does not really sound like a cocktail, to be honest. So the notes here are top notes marshmallow, almond and tangerine, then middle notes vanilla, almond milk and vodka, and then base notes is amber and musk. And to be honest, what I mostly get from this is, yes, vanilla, definitely vanilla. There is some marshmallow and there is this tangerine. I can actually smell quite prominent tangerine in here. Not necessarily almonds. Like, almonds are not really my first thought when I smell it. I mean, it's more like an almond milk in my opinion, whereas it just states almond here. So I don't know. Maybe my nose just smells what it kind of feels like it should smell when sniffing a something that is put in like a cocktail kind of like glass bottle. But this is actually a really nice scent, very summery, so not necessarily for now. I'm probably just going to put it aside and wait for like warmer days to come. But this is a very nice scent, and honestly for that price, it was like a proper cheapie, like I don't know, maybe £15 tops. For that price, I think this is actually a really good purchase. Very summery scent. Do you know what? That vodka note, it's actually there, you can actually smell it. Interesting. It's very interesting. It does not mean that it's like super alcoholic, like like sometimes you use like very cheap fragrances and there's this like alcohol blast. It's not like that. It actually smells like vodka. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Very interesting one. And this was a success. All right, moving on. The next fragrance we're going to talk about is this little guy here. This is Police To Be Misbeat. So this fragrance, I don't even know why I purchased it. This fragrance is by so many people compared to Olympia by Paco Rabanne. And I mean, the bottle is actually quite cute, but what on earth is this? I mean, don't reply. I do know what it's supposed to be, right? Like some headphones. But why is it like so cheap and plasticky? The bottle itself, like the skull, is not really that bad, but this is so bad. Anyway, yes, it does smell very much like Olympia by Paco Rabanne in my personal opinion. Like, very much like that, even though when looking at the notes I don't really see that again, but there's definitely Paco Rabanne Olympia vibe here without the salty note. So the notes here are top notes coconut, blackcurrant, lily of the valley. Then we have middle notes with heliotrope, white peach, rose, and then base notes vanilla, amber, cashmere wood and woody notes. I mean, there's a lot of vanilla here, there's a lot of amber. So what I get from this fragrance is mostly vanilla, amber. There are some like woody undernotes and some florals. And yes, there is some coconut in here. But this concoction altogether gives me very much a sister of Olympia by Paco Rabanne. So if you really love that scent and I don't know, you just want something cheaper, or you want something very, very similar but without that salty note, then try this one for sure. This one is like extremely cheap. It's definitely below £10. I paid like maybe £8 for it. So yeah, this one I would probably consider as a partial success. I mean, I got what I expected, or I got what I could have expected. My relationship with the original Olympia by Paco Rabanne is quite rocky. I kind of like it, I kind of don't. I don't know what to think about it. So I got like a copy, not necessarily a copy, but like a good alternative, a similar fragrance to the Olympia that I'm not like crazy about. So, you know, this is pretty much what I could have expected. So next two fragrances are actually quite surprising for me because they're both from the brand named Aquolina. So I've never felt adventurous enough to buy the original Pink Sugar fragrance. It was, I don't know, I never actually felt like attracted to it. This was never my signature scent, even when I was a kid. I don't know, I never actually wanted to try it even. But then I saw like so many people speaking about like Aquolina, about the Pink Sugar one, about the blueberry one, that I just decided to dig a little bit deeper, and then I found like two different versions of Aquolina. This is Pink Sugar Creamy Sunshine, this one, and this one is Pink Flower by Pink Sugar. So let's start with the Creamy Sunshine. So this is our bottle. It's very similar to the original Pink Sugar from what I saw. This is a very sunny scent. It's like a very strong note of this like burnt sugar here. Then we have some coconut, then we have some sunny notes. And there is definitely a lot of that creaminess in here. So the Creamy Sunshine, I think this is a very good name for this fragrance. So it's very sweet, but it has that like sunny, beachy kind of vibe to it. I quite like it, although opening is a little bit like interesting, I'll say. It has this like almost medicinal kind of vibe to it on my skin. Other than that, I think this is actually a really nice scent. I can't really tell you more about it because this one is definitely summery. So not really something I would wear now again. So I'll just, you know, I'll just keep it till next summer. Then I'll just wear it a little bit more and then decide how much I actually like it. So the notes here are top notes, coconut milk, orange, green mandarin, bergamot. Then middle notes, sugar, ylang ylang, gardenia, tiare flower, mimosa. You know, just looking at those middle notes, you can pretty much guess why this fragrance is so like sunny. And then base notes, caramel, vanilla, monoi oil, sandalwood, and moss. Well, moss is probably the last thing I could smell here. Maybe a little bit, but no, this is definitely sunny, coconutty, creamy goodness. And sugary, very, very sugary, that's for sure. Okay, so this one was an okay purchase. I'm not sure how much of a success that's going to be because I kind of like, you know, need to wear it a little bit more. This one though, I don't even know where to start. You know what, I'm going to start with showing you the bottle. So this is the bottle. Like, you know, I'm not saying that everything that is tacky is bad because, as I said before, I actually really like this bottle. But this one, oh my god, how bad a bottle can be. Like, I hate it. I literally hate it. If you like it, don't feel offended. We all have our like guilty pleasures. Obviously, there are probably some bottles that I love, and everybody will say like, "Oh my god, this is disgusting." But still, I do not like the bottle. And to be honest, I do not like the scent. So this scent is pretty much like a sweeter version, like much sweeter version of La Vie Belle. Or even, you know, Love by Sofia Vergara. But without that grounding coffee note. This is like very like more airier, lighter version of Love by Sofia Vergara. Just as sweet. And I personally, you know, I just don't really think it does the job for me. Very sweet. It sounds to me like a cheaper version of both of these fragrances, La Vie Belle and Love by Sofia Vergara. And let me tell you, Sofia Vergara Love is not an expensive fragrance too, so, you know, I don't really love it, and I don't think I'm just going to keep this one in my collection. But If you kind of like that sweetness of Sofia Vergara Love, but you can't really stand the coffee note and you would like something like lighter, then maybe this one will be good for you. Who knows? The fact that I don't like it, again, fragrances are a very individual thing. Everybody feels a little bit different about them, so I'm not going to tell you that this is disgusting. It's just something I don't really like, and I'm probably just going to get rid of that one in my next declutter video. Anyway, yeah, I forgot about the notes. Let me just read you the notes so that you know what you're dealing with. So the top notes here are raspberry, black pepper, mandarin orange, and orange. Middle notes, white flowers, rose, jasmine, sambac. And then base notes, vanilla, patchouli. Yeah. So that's pretty much that. I actually expected something a little bit better, just, you know, judging by the notes, but who knows, right? You can never actually guess how the fragrance is going to be just looking at the notes. The next one is actually a really good one. So this is Replay Stones. I bought it because many people actually compared this one to Yves Saint Laurent Manifesto. And I have to tell you, there are similarities, especially in the dry down. So this is how the bottle looks. It's actually not bad. So this scent, yeah, it definitely has that Manifesto vibe. It doesn't have Lily of the Valley. I know some people are like allergic to Lily of the Valley for some reason. I don't know why, because I love it. The opening is different though. The opening is like more, I would say much darker. It almost gives me like this like dark chocolate vibe. You know, that bitterness. There's no chocolate whatsoever in this fragrance, so this is just my imagination. This is how I kind of what I get from it. But this is quite like bitter, dark, like much more wintry version of Manifesto. It's not identical. It has a similar vibe, especially in the dry down. And personally, I'm actually quite glad I have it. So I'll have something like Manifesto for winter time. So the notes here are top notes: Artemisia, orange, mandarin orange, and bergamot. Then middle notes: almond blossom and orchid. And then base notes: vanilla, tonka bean, cashmere, wood, sandalwood, amber, and musk. So yeah, this one, definitely a good one. So the last fragrance that we're going to talk about is this guy here, and this was the cheapest of them all. I think I bought it for like, I don't know, I spent like maybe £4 on this fragrance. This is Just Jack Noir Endurance. I did not find any information about this fragrance on Fragrantica. It's not popular enough, I guess. But, you know, for £4, actually, I think the bottle is really not bad. Like this thing here, obviously this is a sticker, but it doesn't really feel that cheap. It doesn't look that cheap. It doesn't feel that cheap. Even the cap. I mean, you know, the golden caps, they can be super tacky. But the fact that this one is actually like this kind of muted champagne gold makes it look much better than, you know, with a yellow kind of gold vibe. Anyway, I think this bottle is actually really nice for the price. You know, remember, £4, right? So that's extremely cheap. So many people compare this fragrance to Noir line from Tom Ford, and I couldn't really match this with like any particular Noir scent, but I think it has a similar vibe, definitely. It's like dark and sweet and like mysterious. It's really pretty. So if you want something that reminds you a little bit of Tom Ford Creations, especially the Noir line, then try this one. Why not? I mean, I'm not going to promise you like lasting power of like 8 hours or so, because I mean, it's like £4, right? But yeah, this is a great cheap alternative to Tom Ford fragrances. Obviously, again, this is not a copy, this is not a dupe, this just has a little bit similar vibe. So the notes here are top notes: strawberry, clove, pink pepper, cardamom, citrus fruit, neroli. Middle notes: iris, lily of the valley, jasmine. Base notes: vanilla, amber, musk, and sandalwood. So yeah, this one is actually really good, and for that price you can't really go wrong. So if you why did I spray it just directly in my mouth? I don't know. Anyway, for that price you can't really go wrong. What you get is like a beautiful aromatic scent. that you can just keep in your bag, and if you lose it, then you lose it. If you don't like it, then you just give it away. £4. I mean, how cheap is that? So there you go. These are my cheap blind buy purchases. What do you think? So what I think is that, you know, even though there are some really good fragrances here, I still think that it's probably best to just, you know, buy those fragrances that you want to buy, because they turned out to be like a bit better quality. Obviously, buying like cheaper fragrances, I can still like discover some really cool things. Like, for example, yeah, this one is actually really cool. And this one, the Stones by Replay. This one, really cool too. But then again, like, I could live without the other fragrances, I think. Definitely I could live without them. And then obviously there are like fragrances that I just can't really stand, like this one, for example. So obviously, this is probably not the most successful blind buy haul in my life. I'm glad that I tried it though. I mean, it's a little bit different approach, you know, just buying something that's just cheap, not necessarily something that I want to buy. And, you know, assuming that the criteria that I had were not really that particular, I think it's still not that bad, okay? It's still not that bad. Okay, guys, so let me know down in the comments below what you think about these fragrances. Have you tried any of them? Have you tried any of those brands? I'm pretty sure you have. I'm pretty sure you have tried at least Aquilina. At least that one. Thank you very much for watching. For more fragrance content, check those videos on my left side. I'm going to see you very soon in my next video. Take care. Bye.